Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to Can't Catch a Break. I am DJ and Dr. Charlene Johnson. We can't catch a break. I am DJ.
Sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way. I'm sick and then sweet, I'm so tired sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way. And from human see me this way. Sweet, I'm so tired sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way.
Hey guys, I have 3 questions for you today.
Sweet, I'm so tired
Are you
sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way. See me this way. Sweet, I'm so tired sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way.
Welcome back. Welcome to Can't Catch a Break. I'm DJ and Dr. Charlene Johnson. We thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break on this Friday. Ooh, it's pretty cold, ain't it? On the April 4th, 2025. It's very, very cold. I mean, really, it's like we started winter over again. All right, all right. Thank you all. Thank you so much for those ain't that's talking about what's going on, the issues that are affecting us as we speak. Yes, yes. No one can escape issues. Issues gonna be around you as long as you're on this earth. So let's talk about it. Ways that we can improve, we can help one another, we can build each other up, we can encourage each other. Yes, and if you'd like to subscribe, go ahead and tell us what you think. Or poll us. I mean, that's what you're supposed to be doing. If you poll us, I mean, I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your feedback. You just don't know. Other people I talk to, you know what? We can have a conversation, about things that affect us as people, and we come to agreement of being part of the solution, not part of the problem. Talking about it. See, people don't want to talk about it. They want some things they want to sweep under the rug, but in reality, right now we are in a time where people need to come together and talk, and make ways, to do better, to help one another, because what we're seeing now is a nation on divide now. No, yes, yes. I know that, if you're a Christian, the Bible talks about this divide, what's going on in this world. Yeah, and yes, and I just want to share that with you, and thank you all. Let me see what you're hearing, talk. Thank you for taking out your busy schedule. You don't have to do it. You don't have to listen to this station. And for those that's listening, guess what? I'm gonna speak the facts. Me and Dr. Shaw, we're gonna share with you knowledge. We're not gonna just make stuff up. We're here because we care for everybody, no matter what color you are, race you are. We just care. We love you, and that's what it's all about. Now I know, since time has been changing, we see things are happening right now. The things that you used to do, you can't do no more. The places that you used to go, you can't go no unless you save, unless you put your money up, unless you be wise. Because right now we are in some tough times. Right now, we're in some tough times, and if you're out here spending money that you don't have, then at the end it's gonna come back and bite you. Yes, because you have to use wisdom. And oftentimes, we as my color, African Americans, you know, we tend to lack in those areas. But we see other races, like the Caucasian races, we see them, they teach their kids what? How to invest in the stock market. We see them planning at an early age. And we see, I ain't saying all, I'm saying some, even in the African American, some, okay? But the other half is like, and it's in the same Caucasian and other races. The other half of some of them, they are just, they're not even looking at that. How it's going to affect you, when when they have kids, and they grow up, you know, what's going to become of them if this world's still around? What's going to happen. So we're going to talk tonight on some things that we're seeing. What's this is serious, y'all. I mean, really, this is serious. I mean, really, people, when it comes to businesses, small businesses, when it comes to people, companies, we're gonna see a lot of companies folding. We're gonna see a lot of things happening. I mean, people being laid off their jobs, and even from the beginning, we saw when this Doge program came, they was eliminating jobs. Now this is even worse because you then mess with something that you shouldn't mess with when it came to tariffs. You know, trying to go out the countries, but it's backfiring. Okay, because you don't have that money. If you're in $36 trillion in debt, okay, now you put these tariffs on, you might triple it, might even triple, quadruple it to a who knows a 70 trillion dollar debt. Who knows the way things are going, and so we're looking at this because it's going to affect the low income, those that's trying, the middle class, and those that have money in the stock market. It's going to affect them. You have people right now talking about pulling their money out because it might be sometimes with the way it's going, people will lose out, in the stock market. I know people want to buy now in the stock market. I'm not telling you. I'm just I'm just sharing. And I ain't telling you. I'm not encouraging you. I'm not a decision maker. I'm not doing it, but I'm sharing with you from what I seen, what I read for me. Okay, what I got of it, and this is what I read, is that right now, if you invest in the stock market, okay, it might be subtle, but at the same time, you can lose the next day. Okay, so the way it's going right now, the economy is fluctuating. Everything about it right now, it's not healthy. Okay, and we can see that. So, what do we do? Okay, what kind of strategies can we put together as a people of all walks of life? Okay, let's share this. And I was reading, and we read, but here's the things we're gonna have to do right now. If right now, okay, you tell me if in 2024 America owed last year owed $17 trillion in the first quarter in 2024, right? Okay. Now, okay, if you broke that down in $1 bills and laid them from end to end, and this is okay, like you lay them down, you stretch them, how many miles you think there would be? 1 trillion miles? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It will stretch that far. hmm I mean, really. Uh, it'll be so long. Who knows how far it go? Okay, and see right now with that debt, the average American, okay, is about 100,000, 100,000 in debt. hmm You know what I'm saying? So that's alone that bill that scratch when you look at it would make as far as we just talked about the $1 trillion, 1 trillion miles, it wouldn't scratch, but it's 104,000 in debt. The average American is right now. So the thing is, we got to think this: how do we, and I, what I'm saying, I had I often just read, economic books. I mean, I read, just to see what's in the news and find out, okay, when we look back, okay, well, we not look back, but just if we see as we move forward. Okay, now here it is. Let me ask you something. I know people don't want to pay off debt. Some it's hard. It's hard to some. Because they don't, because the things that you're gonna have to give up some things. You don't have to give up things. You're gonna have to give up some things. But I'm gonna show you how you can balance two at the same time, and also make it though. Do all this. You have to give up some things. You're gonna have to, I mean, when it comes to that dollar, the things that you will still spending habits, you're gonna have to take control of that. You have to save money. I know because I ain't got no money to save, but even if it's a $5, $10 a week or like that, something. You're gonna have to learn how. You're gonna have to sacrifice. Okay, you're gonna have to sacrifice because I know people they want things. Okay, you want things. That's all we all do. Okay, but you have to find a way. When it comes to those big items you buy from the store and all that, that's gonna have to be uh, cut short. Even like you know how to find ways, and with your mortgage company, if you have insurance that it's the deductible, you could do something with that deductible, just to try to get your rate down. When it comes to car and insurance payments, you want to find as other insurance companies that will, that will have a lower rate. You want to look around. You're gonna have to start cutting. See, nobody want to hear that word, but it's real because we are in that time right now. Well, you're gonna have to. Hey, you know what? I thought I can do this, but I can't. Then when you look at your expenses, such as your grocery, your clothing, your bills, I mean, you're gonna have to shrink some things. When I'm talking like when it comes to your, spending clothes, you have to cut that down. The gas and light, you're gonna have to cut some of that power down on the gas and utility bills. Even like buying light bulbs, you don't have to, find some bulbs like some LED bulbs, because it pulls. Even with grocery, you're gonna just go find you some coupons. I see people do it all the time. They'll cut ads out, the paper and stuff. They'll bring coupons to the stores and help them out with their food. Um, you can, it's just you don't have to eat out a lot. You don't have to go out. You know, I know people say, "Well, it's the weekend. It's Friday. I'm going out to eat." And it's my time. I worked and I paid. But at the same time, you got to really make sure you're noting that down. So if something happens, you're looking at what I spend. Write it down. You'll know. And that's the thing is, write stuff down. I know people don't want to write nothing down. Some people don't, but I'm telling you, it keep you focused. And like when it comes to phones and stuff like that, things like Starbucks. Sometimes you gonna have to just cut down on that. A cup of coffee every day. If you depends where you going to one of the expensive ones might cost you $10 a cup. Because you got special things in it. You know how to cut back on that. Get you a coffee machine, buy you one, and do coffee yourself. Stop, you're giving that money to, those companies, coffee companies, and they $10 a cup. They gonna go up with their prices too, cause of tariffs. These things are happening. It's happening. We see the things are happening. And you're gonna have to get on the budget. Write stuff down. How much you gonna spend every month? I know you want to go out. I know you want to buy things. I know you want to do things, but here it is. We going in I say recession. We going there. We going there, y'all. We are going there. For any time when you look at, I don't care what nobody say. When it comes to a country, and and people can see it, you understand that these tariffs are not good for us. It is not good for us. Okay. When we think about that, uh, you're gonna have to do some discretionary spending when it comes to the leftovers. When it comes to payments, when how much you're gonna put in your savings. Even like paying out debt. You gotta set up an emergency fund. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to do that. Set stuff up like that. Really. You have to set that up. Okay. What's so how much in the savings? And I mean, you gonna have to sacrifice. Okay, because this is very important. You gonna have to really cut down on your trimming on your budget. I know people say, "Well, I'm not doing this. I'm working. I should be able to enjoy." You can, but you're gonna have to be wise. You know, like someone told me, "Hey, you know what? Just because you got it, that don't mean that you're supposed to overindulge. Because if you overindulge, You can't when you mess up, you can't blame nobody but yourself. And that's so true. Okay? At least 99% of the households has streaming services. You know, that has streaming services. You know, um, think about it. In 2024, if you look, I read up on Forbes that they are having streaming services. You know, and you gotta look at that. You know, a streaming service. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's what we gotta look at. The streaming services, what people are, you got a lot of cable, different networks. People are buying into. It's a lot of things that are happening right now. So I just want everybody to be careful. Don't let get caught up. Don't be caught up. Okay. All right. So I just want to share that with you. With what's going on. What's going on out in here. So be careful. Be careful when you're spending. Budget. Budget. Okay. This is a serious time, and um, think about you know what's going on, what's happening in America. When you think of the households, you have in the households when you look at what's going on with the TV subscriptions, and I mean just so much. I have to laugh at because wow, it makes you just say wow. Will we ever? We're gonna see a day like this. You're gonna see a day like this. And if you give, you give. You give to your church. If you go to church, you give to your church. And that's the one source I tell you that'll keep you um, when it comes to God. That one, that right there, you will never lose out. That's bigger than any bank, bigger than any investment. You can give to that, and I guarantee you give it, and you give it and cheerful about it. I guarantee you won't lack. It'll bail you out things when it comes to your finances. I mean, really, just give them to Him because He knows He will supply your every need according to riches and glory. I'm just saying it because I know as a Christian, and I'm not here to try to push my Christianity or anyone, but it's the facts. For me, it's proof that given to Him, okay, it works. hmm Some things, like I tell you, when it comes to being entertained, like the different cable networks and internet and all that stuff that you're paying, the weight loss and smorgasbords and those services, different things that you do every month. So you're gonna have to start taking some of that off. You know, I mean, you don't have to. Um, I mean, really, you need to cancel all that unnecessary stuff, unnecessary subscription. Because you ain't gonna get nowhere like that in this time. Right? I'm just saying, we are in a time right now where we're going to go into a recession. And when you hear someone says it's the pain gonna it's gonna be painful, that means that not only he don't even know, not only the economists don't even know how long it's gonna be. So when you hear stuff like that, and people say, "Well, yeah, they know," no, they don't know. This could last over a year, maybe 2 years. But then you might gain. If I'm looking at it, with all these tariffs, they might gain $6 trillion. They build plants here. It's going 2 years from now. These plants gonna have to be built in 2 years. Things ain't set up, okay. But at the same time, the 6 trillion still ain't gonna eliminate the debt ceiling, the 36 trillion, okay. Because where we getting the money from? Hmm? The money is going right back over back and forward, but it's not nothing happening because we already at $36 trillion. People gotta understand how that goes. Okay, if you're constantly spending money, but at the same time they spending money, you're getting goods imported back and forth, but yet it's trade wars. I'm gonna go up on you. since she went up on us. Now it costs us some more. So we're spending more money than anything. The billionaires, they are, well, they're satisfied. It ain't gonna, the middle class and lower income, it's gonna affect them. It's gonna affect them dramatically. People need to just realize, man, we gotta stick together. Hey, you know what? We gotta help one another because this is gonna boil down to. You think you talking about the price of cars? That's another 12,000 probably to buy a car. What they cost like 45,000, something like that now, just for a car. Some cars. I mean, about 50,000 now. Then all this stuff that's your parts, labor. You take it to the shop, they're gonna charge you triple because they got them parts gonna cost them double to get it from companies that and bring them in and import them in. Yeah, yes. You gotta ask yourself on subscriptions though. How much do I use this? How much do I really need this? Can I live without this? Some things you can. I mean, we got all these different apps. Out here, different apps. I mean, we got so many apps. That's out here on TV. That people, if they ain't watching cable, they watching these apps. They paying extra. Okay, so you gotta look at all this stuff. Little things that comes out. You'd be surprised. Little things that comes out your check. And what you're giving. You gotta say no thanks to. No thanks to. Counsel. You gotta be prepared to say no thanks. Electricity. Like I said once again, cut that electricity down. Keep stuff off. Keep it down. Turn that thermostat down. Keep them doors closed. Don't let that air go out. Put some shades over your window. Hold some of that air in when it get cold. When we get hot, sorry. I mean, block some of that. The pool, yeah, that's how you get rid of. That's how you save. The dishwasher, all that heat. You gotta look at stuff like that. What it's gonna cost you? Water bill, gas bill. Look at all that. But you can cut down on some of that. You can. Use some, filtration system for water for your sinks and stuff. You drink your kind of water. Just you have to go buy you some water and get you one of them big old jugs machines, and that way you won't be using all your water from the sink, drinking water. You have your own water. You gotta look at that. Some places are higher, some places are lower. And then, like I said, I'm gonna say this because, and then, like I say, plan, plan. Start writing down because you need to start writing down now. See, ain't nobody gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna tell you at the same time. But the thing is, you're gonna be the one that's with the bag in your hand. You the one gonna be, why I didn't do this, why I didn't do that. hmm Yeah. Um, I mean, really, when you look at this, when you look at the expenses right now, I mean, it's gonna be high. Uh-huh. Renters, people gonna go up on their rent. These real estate companies gonna go up on their rent. They're gonna charge a fortune because they getting hit. So now they're gonna have to uh, maintain. Mortgage companies, they going up. I mean, on their insurance. I mean, I'm talking about these insurance companies today. And there should be some regulations of what they're charging on these insurance from these insurance companies. In some places that had the floods and all that stuff, I can see them still getting. They should get breaks, but uh, here, other places that don't have all that. I mean, really, these insurance companies are just really taking advantage of people. I mean, if you ain't got all these storms and hurricanes, and you ain't got these hailstorms, but yet your insurance would be like uh, a year, $6,000. Some of your houses are so small, not even as lower than not even bigger than like, I mean, into 1,000 square feet. and you're paying all this high, and you need to call your officials and say, you know what, that can come down. That insurance company, if you go to another one, if you switch off to another insurance company, um, the competition is great. But some insurance companies is just as high. And they need some regulations because people can't afford insurance. And some people will have to get if you have a roommate, if you have enough money, you're in a home, you know, give up your paid parking space. You got to do things. You have to go out, and then you can do extra work. Find a trade. Go out there, find a trade, learn something. If you need to do extra, make extra income. If you have a trade, a skill, okay, you can do that too. Learn something. Find a cheaper house or some apartment. I mean, see, these are the times that you don't have to use your head. Well, else you're gonna be homeless. Some people will be homeless because of what's taking place. They're gonna because when you look at the interest rates and everything, you get that stuff consolidated if you have to, if you can. You have a home, or you have to get some payments. You can combine payments. Do some debt consolidation. Yes, I'm going to talk more on this. This is the first half of this I just want to get to because there's some more things. I thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break. And I'm just talking on the cost of reducing debt in our lives. This is the cost of reducing debt in our lives because we are at that verge right now of a great disaster of recession. It's here. The tariffs, I'm telling you, the greed, the power, the corruption that's taking place in America. But the Bible talks about this. You know, greedy. Okay, it talks about this. Prideful, arrogant, high-minded. These are the things that men is doing. The ones that don't care about others. Okay. Well, thank you all for listening. Can't catch a break. I'll be talking more on this, and I thank you all. Tell me what you think. Your feedback is very important. Poll me. Hey, you know what? I just poll me. I'm on poll. Look at my polls. I want to hear from you. There's more to come. I want to have a conversation because everybody is not exempt from this. We all gonna have to live this, no matter what color you are, your status. You're gonna have to learn how to come subject, come down to earth, and use your head and think because we're in that time. But also pray though. All right, well, thank you all for listening to Catch Break. Keep your head up. I'm DJ and Dr. Shaw. You have a great and a fantastic day. Thank you very much.
So tired of you. Every dog must have his day.
I'ma do this.